Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, December 21st, 2022, after 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a Time for Change call tonight at 9 p.m. We're going to be discussing who really is running the show on planet Earth, so to speak, and what is in front of us. Most of us are, at certain stages in our lives, we look for partnership. Matching up with each other and sharing the life together. Some people call it soulmate. Some people call it twin flame. To be honest with you, there is 1,000 soulmates for everybody on the planet. Literally. And it's basically, you come across someone who has locks that fit our keys and keys to fit our locks. When we feel safe enough to open the locks, our truest selves step out. We can completely be honestly, completely who we are. We can be loved for who we are and not for who we're pretending to be. Richard Bach. Each of us deserve to be with someone who compliments us, treats us like royalty, lifts us up with great gentleness when we are down. We could call this other person our best dream lover, or perhaps our life's true soulmate. What qualifies someone to resonate with any of us at this caliber is the profound, intimate, spiritual connection we have with them. There is a natural synchronicity between you and you having the feeling that the days are truly timeless together. Upon your first meeting, you may feel as if you have known each other for many years or lifetimes, and you probably have. You may also feel like you can share anything you are experiencing in your life without editing your words or holding back in any way. There is this simple presence together and a closeness that allows us to relax with this person and fully be ourselves. We may not believe this, yet there is at least one person on the planet right now who totally fits this description of being our soulmate. The good news is that we don't have to struggle, strive, and search on the internet dating sites for years to locate this person. We have a natural manifesting power inside of us that will attract this divine, enlightened connection quicker than you would think. When we are living with love, joy, and appreciation in our hearts, and we've healed all of our past relationship woundings, we become a manifesting magnet for the mate of our dreams. There are many magical things that can miraculously manifest when we open our minds and hearts to love. When we are truly surrendered to love, to the source of love within each of us, 24 hours a day, this divine soul connection will spontaneously appear in the most unsuspecting way. An optimist is a person who sees a green light everywhere, while a pessimist sees only the red stoplight. The truly wise person is colorblind. Albert Schweitzer. Interesting statement, isn't it? An optimist is a person who sees a green light everywhere, while a pessimist sees only the red stoplight. The truly wise person is colorblind. So are you ready to meet your soulmate this week? Doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter what you're doing, what your status is. If not, what are you afraid of? What's really stopping any of us from being open to this possibility? Often the negative, unhealed experiences from the past will block our hearts from opening again to trust and love. And those people will go through life irritable, angry about many things, and end up leaving the body with never experiencing this. This fear can create a protective wall around our hearts that may blind us from seeing if our soulmate was standing right in front of us. If our hearts are still holding on to previous wounds and negative memories from past relationships, we might feel that it's too dangerous to trust and love and think it's safer to hide behind this wall. The interesting thing is that the walls that are formed around the heart will numb the feelings of pain and any sensation of being loved. These inner walls block both the positive and negative feelings, leaving us completely unable to have a personal, intimate relationship. When this occurs, there is only one way out. The key is to let down your guard, be real with yourself, and trust the healing process of loving yourself just as you are. And not a lot of people can do that, because most people do not love themselves. Period. They do not love themselves. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Dalai Lama. Even though we are sensitive beings and may not think that we have a steel blockade around our hearts, we can always choose to practice letting in even more love. The melting and healing of the smallest self-sabotaging thoughts that arise can allow for buckets of deep joy to pour into your heart. One of the greatest keys to manifesting an enlightened, loving being is radical honesty with yourself. Radical honesty with yourself. Ask yourself, how far along am I on my spiritual path? One simple gauge for this is noticing the level of compassion you have for yourself, your beloved, and everyone else in the world. If you have tremendous love, respect, and gentleness with yourself, you are making it 1,000 times easier for others to find love for you. A heart overflowing with constant compassion for yourself and others becomes a giant magnet for attracting that enlightened divine lover from your outer world. The greatest, deeply eternal loving of all is when this inner gentleness becomes an addictive habit and you become the healing master of your life. Soulmates are people who bring out the best in you. They are not perfect, but are always perfect for you. Author unknown. You can take a step towards attracting your soulmate to you. It's up to you. And the biggest key, however you want to define it, is you. It's you. You're the key. And that's why we always talk about going within. Living from the heart. Many of us, and I would say the majority of us, are manifesting a more challenging experience of life than is necessary. Simply because we are spending more time trying to deal with life through our heads rather than using our hearts. This habitual head trip can leave us feeling dry. This habitual head trip can leave us feeling dry and disconnected from living our passion, finding our mission, and discovering our juicy soul purpose. By constantly overanalyzing ourselves, others, and the infinite material details of this world, we fall into some attempt to be in control of life and later feel bound by experiences of loneliness, separation, and isolation. Spending too much time up in the head, we forget how to access our heart's natural wisdom and its infinite resources of love, compassion, and divine connection. The power of living from the heart center is enormous and deeply transformational. The power of living from the heart center is enormous and deeply transformational. The heart holds the key to our most expansive and enlightened state of being. By simply holding our awareness on our heart center for even a few minutes, we can spark the ignition to fire up a deeper spiritual connection with this life. In just a few minutes, the heart slowly begins opening, expanding our consciousness, and allows us to feel what it's like to totally trust in this life and ourselves. This open heart lets us know we are held in the hands of this universe, showing us how we can relax deeply, completely, while we listen to the sacred heartbeat of God pulsing from inside us. If we wish to find out what living life is like as a fully self-realized enlightened being, we must choose to live in complete devotion to our heart. The heart must become our fundamental base and spiritual guide. It must be the source where we find clarity about how to say what we most need to say and what are the most loving actions we could take today. In order to reach this enlightened state, we must choose to reach deep into our souls, beyond our minds, and allow ourselves to feel all of those rich, juicy, good, and bad human feelings buried inside us. We must feel all the darkness and lightness inside ourselves, while trusting that the spiritual fire from the heart is powerful and bright enough to transcend it all. Maintaining a perpetually open, loving heart is the secret to a beautiful life. The quality of an open heart keeps us warm, loved, and feeling safe if ever life should treat us in a cold, bitter fashion. One might say that if you're able to keep your heart open 24 hours a day for 7 days a week, you can only manifest positive, successful, intimate relationships with everyone in your life. It's truly impossible to get hurt in any relationship if your heart refuses to close. You simply reconnect to an infinite source of love instead of getting sucked into playing the role of the angry victim. The enlightened one lives only in the heart. When he or she moves about and deals with people and things, he or she knows that what is seen is not separate from the one supreme reality, the Brahman, the self, what is real, Ramana Maharishi. The visualization that we can bring in to our hearts will greatly expand the love energy and vibration of our hearts in just a few minutes. We can notice a shift in the feeling of warmth, lightness, and love expanding inside our chests. A happier consciousness will soon begin bubbling up inside of us. We will feel that we are being deeply connected with an infinitely healing source of love. You can practice this visualization every morning and evening. You'll experience the energy of deep, eternal love growing inside your body and spreading throughout your life. The more often you do this meditation, the greater you'll increase your overall manifesting ability and capacity to remain in a constant positive flow. For optimum results, do this meditation every night before you sleep, and first thing every morning, the moment you wake up, for the next 21 days in a row. It's totally wild how powerful and effective this heart meditation truly is, and will transform your life. And a lot of people have made up their own. We have certain templates. We've done and read this before. It can never be read enough. The Golden Heart Chakra meditation. The first 30 seconds of this meditation, focus your mind on the energy of the most enlightened, loving, sacred, or holy being you've ever met or heard of. Could be Buddha, the enlightened one. Could be anybody. Could be a saint, enlightened guru, an animal, or maybe someone you admire spiritually. Visualize them standing right in front of you, knowing this is a higher vibrational being than you, here to help you open your heart. You may meditate on a picture of this being if it helps you to feel their presence. It's in front of you now. If you do not feel familiar with any enlightened being, just imagine your heart is a beautiful flower opening to the warm rays of the sun. If you are challenged with visualizing images in your mind, do not worry, for it's accessing your feelings inside which are the most powerful and important. The more you learn how to relax your body and trust your inner world, the clearer your visualizations will eventually become. Take at least 60 seconds of focusing and feeling into this enlightened being's heart. Truly sense what it's like to live a day of their life with their heart. Keep reaching into their heart, sensing how much love they contain inside, and breathe this deeply, eternally loving feeling into your body. Imagine your heart and their heart are merging to become one stream of amazing golden heart energy. Visualize and feel a channel of golden light is connected from your heart into theirs. Let this golden channel of light energy melt through all the hard, untrusting, distant, or protective walls that may exist around your heart. With each breath you take, feel this golden channel of healing light is getting stronger, brighter, and spreading the energy throughout your body. Know you are always connected to the enlightened being's heart energy. Yet allow yourself to be deeply rest and relax inside your heart. Notice if there is any new expansive energy radiating from inside your heart. Bathe in your own heart, releasing any protection, hardness, or walls that were there. Let this be a deeply healing experience, and imagine the golden light is rooting and anchoring itself all throughout your body. Know this golden light is always available throughout your day and will help you soften any walls that may suddenly arise around your heart and relax any tension in your body when needed. Bring your new golden radiating heart out into the world and share it with everyone. It's a constant for us. Some people believe that it's, you do a little bit here, a little bit there, but you don't do it all the time. And that is a mistake, if you want to call it that. This life is our greatest teacher. It truly is. It has this mysterious, seductive way of showing us how deeply powerful, creative, and incredibly penetrating we are. This world wants to be penetrated by us, by our energy, our creativity, our love, and our consciousness. That is why it is here. This world is here to experience us, so that in return, we get to experience it. This is the cosmic setup. And how we can learn, grow, and evolve as infinite souls traveling through this life on our mysterious journey home. We are not just passive observers, watching our lives flutter by. We are also not just actors on life stage, playing out these random personalities and the garden variety of roles handed down to us. We are that indescribable expansion and contraction of pure consciousness that is weaving itself in between. We are the blend of the observer, the observed, and the actor on the grand stage. We are the energy that's creating our actions, and this detached observer who is watching it all magically unfold. We are this interwoven space, this timeless spiritual essence that is beyond all rational comprehension. It can be tricky at first to understand that this divine interwoven mystery is what and who we all really are. We've been programmed and imprinted to believe we are either this body or this soul. That we either are spiritual or material beings. Yet, if we look with a penetrating, piercing mind into the core infrastructure of our human reality, we'll see that we are both. This universe is just too big not to contain both. And whenever we begin to identify ourselves with anything other than all three sides of the coin, this universe is just too big not to contain both. And whenever we begin to identify ourselves with anything other than all three sides of the coin, we needlessly suffer. Whatsoever is given to us is precious. If it was not so, existence would not have given it to us. Osho. Now, I believe that we all do know, to a certain extent, suffering is not always bad. It is the most wonderful indicator that we are not being receptive, open, and available to this universe. Thank the God there's something to notify us when we are all off target. Our suffering, however, is not to be taken too personally. Suffering just means the ego, your individuated mind, has got you convinced that it's in charge and running the entire show. It is a master at pretending that our lives are something smaller than the divine cosmic immensity that they truly are. The mind has got us hypnotized into believing its minuscule, separate version of reality is true. It's like a colony of ants trying to convince every human being that their world is the only system that exists on the planet, and the most important one everyone should be focusing upon. All suffering stems from forgetting our connection with the God source, which originates from a deeper complaint we have within ourselves that says life should be different than the way it is. The complaining ego doesn't trust that the all-intelligent, divinely creative God source knows exactly what it is doing. Our ego maintains its kingly or queenly suffering state because it stopped being curious about this awesome divine matrix of life. It has forgotten about our spiritual freedom, the power of pure consciousness, and our ability to choose what really matters. Everybody is carrying around hundreds of masks. Just watch. Talking to your lover, your boss, or with a person who is not going to fulfill any of your desires. Just watch their face. If you need their help the next day, just watch their face. Watch your face. Is there a moment in your life where you drop all your masks with everyone? Oh, so. God exists within everything, including our awareness right here, right now. At the deepest level of reality, this universe has given us an opportunity to discover this connection with the divine. We create total freedom, love, empowerment, enlightenment in our lives. We are given an opportunity while we are in a human body to create whatever we wish to, including transcending every level of suffering, life mastery, and mastery over our minds. Inner mastery is available to anybody who truly believes it's possible to be free from any type of suffering forever. Some people, however, feel they need to suffer more before they are ready for liberation, while others believe they have had enough and are not willing to tolerate living in some version of inner conflict another day. The most interesting thing I've discovered, though, is that the people who are truly honestly finished with their own personal suffering toleration project suddenly create an inner shift in their consciousness that has the most fascinating dimension to it. They begin having a fully open, consistently receptive, welcoming quality to life, which behaves much like a cosmic womb, continuously ready and willing to give birth to a deeper connection with the God source inside. If and when we look deeper and begin exploring what exactly is this cosmic womb, we see that it is the foundation for all matter and antimatter. It is this awesome, supremely empty, universal blackboard of which all consciousness and all its content fall upon. In a more spiritual context, we might say the cosmic womb is the home base where the creative, all-loving God source abides. The womb is the feminine aspect of God, and all matter and consciousness is the male aspect. Just as you and I came from a womb, everything in this universe was also born out of a womb as well. It is what existed before the Big Bang, before the first thought, before there was an empty void in existence. When we begin personally exploring this 100% pure emptiness of existence, we can often first encounter negative states of emotional sensation, such as lack, apathy, loss, or even depression. This is part of the normal emptying out procedure. This is simply a clearing of the ego's list of negative limiting beliefs it's been gripping onto. Through a persistent curiosity, devotion, meditation, prayer, or spiritual practice of investigating this purely empty, cosmically connected, womb-like space inside of us, we soon discover something radically divine and absolutely precious abides at this core. At the core of our inner cosmic womb is absolute freedom, true inner peace, an indescribable self-love, a deeply penetrating awareness, and the connection to all the power and energy in this universe. A connection. to all the power and energy in this universe. Now, to some, this might sound quite outrageous and unbelievable. Yet, when we experience it for ourselves, we will see that's precisely what it is. The cosmic womb is our sacred entry point, our spiritual gateway to instantly commune with the divine. When we are inside this absolutely pure empty space, the most direct, loving inner guidance immediately shows up, providing the most vital information and insights we were most needing to have. Discovering how to live in a constant, reverent communion with this sacred womb within is the most solid spiritual foundation that we can relax our entire lives into. There is nothing more reliable, since the cosmic womb is always there, always ready to be received, and always creating the deepest possible transformation within us. When we surrender deeply to this life, we discover our own personal relationship and intimate connection with this deepest experience of reality. And to prove that it is real, we are given the gift of effortlessly finding total mastery over our minds, peace with every emotion we have, a profound unity with our own consciousness, and thus total mastery of our lives. All the greatest treasures are hidden behind that which we wouldn't want to be with. You are this ultimate mischief and brilliance. All the wisdom, compassion, and treasure is within. So where are you going to hide it? I find it such a surprise to notice that who we are is the pulsing heart of the emptiness, the mountain strength of the vastness. Pamela Wilson. The East have known about this purely empty state for thousands of years, and they called it shunyata. It means pure emptiness. Yet, in a positive sense, not like the negative interpretation that's cast upon being empty in the West, since the Western mind is more focused on materialism, productivity, and achieving things in the outer world, emptiness would seem like a negative experience for the traditionally conditioned Western mind, because the Eastern mind sees all matter as illusory, transitory, here today, gone tomorrow. Then that which is void of matter, purely empty of thought, is understood to be our closest connection to our divine spiritual nature and ultimate foundation. Discovering 100% reliable spiritual foundation is the most colossal gift we could ever give ourselves. Finding that which never changes, is always permanent, always reliable, eternal, indestructible, and absolutely free, simply sets the mind at ease. It allows our souls to rest in our bodies, to experience the feeling that we can be at home here now, no matter what seems to be happening in the outer world. The cosmic womb is the great doorway to our highest freedom and the full realization of our unbounded spiritual nature. It is our essential entry point for how we can instantly reclaim our real spirituality, which in turn initiates a complete mind-body healing. And permanently, with the greatest permanence, access to the state of unlimited potentiality. Just a few seconds in the womb, we immediately experience heaven is within. We encounter a timelessness and infinite spaciousness inside. That opens a purely awakened mind, unstoppable energy, and infinite love within ourselves. we discover we are already spiritual beings at the core of every moment. We experience our spiritual indestructible essence is always here, always now, and always available. Right now, you have the small light of the ego to help you to see, to grow, to find your way, and you are afraid to extinguish it. Then you will fall into utter darkness for a time, while the dark night of the soul. In a dark night, even a glowworm is quite a hope that light exists. Also, the cosmic womb inside of us right now is easy to discover. In fact, it takes zero effort and energy to realize it is here. The more the mind efforts to try to find it, the more elusive the womb becomes. Our cosmic womb can only be found through a deep relaxation into our consciousness. It is not something experienced when we are unconscious, half-conscious, or operating in automatic habits of the mind. The womb is only found when the mind is not there. When we are free from all the demands and desires of the ego, only then can we fully relax, remove all our masks, and happily reveal the amazing enlightened being we truly are. Our cosmic womb is found through a constant experience of receptivity and surrender. When we can become supremely unguarded, free from any need or agenda, only then are we fully receptive and the God source instantly enters us. We must choose to surrender completely to the totality of our existence, to all our problems and their solutions, letting everything release. In this great letting go, all the answers to this life's greatest questions seem to be painted in perfect pictures on the womb's vast, infinite, holy blackboard. This grand emptiness is so profound that the infinitely creative source has no other choice than to draw out all the answers for us. The power in the womb is so intoxicating and liberating that all our pains and personal issues are orgasmically taken over by the divine. The womb awakens us instantly, points us back to the most radical essence of who we truly are, gives us exactly what we are most needing to experience. To initiate the process of discovering our inner cosmic womb this week, start with being more allowing, welcoming, receptive, and expansive in your thinking than normal. A good exercise is in welcoming each experience of life and its opposite, meaning welcome in the pain and the pleasure, the joy and the sadness, the frustration and the ecstasy, etc. The cosmic womb is already allowing all the good and bad experiences in this world to play out on its universal blackboard without discrimination or judgment. It is simply allowing for everything, including the mind and its various states of consciousness, to unfold as they will. Be like this cosmic blackboard, allowing for all. The very instant we welcome our totality, the dark and the light, we become 100% present to this present moment, and the most amazing discoveries are found. Each moment becomes another epiphany and a holy experience to be revealed. We find every day is a great gateway to absolute creativity, expanded love, and a higher state of consciousness. Through welcoming all good and bad experiences, we can allow this unlimited God source of energy to freely enter our lives. It's good to know that everyone is going to be reflecting back to you where you are. This world will be mirroring those good and bad parts of yourselves, and you might not be aware of. If you are feeling stuck in a relationship, trapped in a job, powerless in a financial situation, or simply inadequate in your life, you are not feeling into the full contraction and expansion of your consciousness. Let go of this clinging or resisting either side, and let this grand pendulum swing. If you are welcoming everything on the outside and the inside, you cannot and will not miss the cosmic womb. Good news is that this universe already always loves us all. It's perpetually sending each of us wake-up calls, trying to pour its greatness, its sweet healing love and wild ecstasy into every one of us. Question is, are you ready for this? Can you handle a cosmic state of ecstasy? Then become ridiculously receptive to every experience in life again. Become like the most beautiful feminine flower, tasting the fresh morning rays of sunlight dancing on your skin. God must enter you here. It has no other choice. It must surrender to you if you allow for it to enter you. Simply open yourselves up to all of existence. This is the most effortless and easy way to realize and experience your divinity. The ego functions like a blindfold on our eyes. The sun rises and we remain in darkness. The music goes on and we don't hear a thing. We live in the ocean of love, but nothing is felt. With the ego, you remain like a dying tree, uprooted. Then life looks like this long, drawn-out tragedy. The whole thing seems to be so ridiculously meaningless, and consciousness seems to be something irrelevant and accidental. Okay. One last word of advice. On your journey into the womb, it is a glorious and ferocious ride, and nothing short of that. The mind will have a tendency to try to remain in control, to dictate reality, and micromanage your destiny. This is a very old habit, which is not going to let go easily. It's going to try to make you believe it is better not to surrender to existence. It feels a desperate need for protection, safety, and security. It tends to live life from a place of fear rather than freedom, love, or ecstasy. Just know that at any time you are not feeling free, your mind has taken over, has forgotten the cosmic womb, is here to liberate you, and is desperately trying to escape from some illusionary prison it's caught in. The great spiritual setup here is that our souls have signed up for millions of mind games that believe we are imprisoned so that we can break free and believe we are free. We want to experience it all and will settle for nothing less. Any attempt to be in total control of the game is pointless and throws our bodies into a state of contraction. Just understand that your mind is stuck in the habit of constantly attempting to find freedom from an illusionary prison that it created. And all the answers and real goodies you're seeking are inside this jail cell. There is no need to escape from it. And when you realize this, the bars and walls, suddenly dissolve. Any seeking for freedom, love, or enlightenment in another person, spiritual text, or concept is inherently coming from the feeling of missing out on this divine spiritual womb-like connection within ourselves. There is no greater guru than trusting your life and the wisdom in your heart. Realize this deeply and completely. This mind of yours is the only thing blocking you from experiencing this divine God source connection. No matter how sacred or most likely scared the mind is, it is still in your way. The mind has you fooled, trying to achieve some personal private goal out there, rushing around as if your soul didn't have an eternity of time ahead of you. Be careful of the mind. It acts much like a locomotive coal-burning train that's been hurling down the same old tracks for 25 years. It's never stopped. It doesn't know how to stop, or at least consciously. Of course, the mind may pause for the occasional red light along the way, yet for it to come to a full, complete halt and turn off its engines, whistles, backup motor is unheard of. If we ever want to discover the divine womb and the greatest mystery of this life within ourselves, we must abandon this suicidal train for good. We must choose to leap far from these old tracks and hurt ourselves, hurl ourselves into the unknown. It is here that we will find the soft green grass catches our fall, where we can lay the mind down gently to rest as we bask in the golden sunset beyond the fields, making mad, passionate love with God behind the world's closed eyes. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out the mouth. Remain still. This is a magical moment when you are truly present to it. You can deeply enjoy your life in all its mysterious, mystical ways as you open yourself to the possibility that this moment really does contain magic, and deeply relax into it. Then you become magical for today. For today, hold the intention to be intimately, deeply, and completely connected to the magic of this entire universe. Become so unified with this field of energy and intelligent love that you cannot help but to experience the divine infinite being you really are. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, to continue our time for change call, and 3 p.m. Thursday, December 22nd, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be good to yourself at all times.